Have you ever considered getting a coffee subscription service, but you're not sure which one best suits you? Well, in today's video, we're going to share our review of the two most popular coffee subscription services out there, Beanbox and Mistobox. Who comes out on top? Well, keep watching until the end to find out. When choosing a coffee subscription service, there are a few things you must keep in mind. Firstly, it's a good idea to know how much coffee you consume and will likely need. Secondly, know your preferences. Many services will ask you which roast type you prefer, as well as flavor profile and processing methods. And thirdly, it's good to know of any extra costs such as shipping costs that may change later. After you have a clear idea of this information, then you'll likely have a choice of a few different subscription services, the two most popular being Beanbox and Mistobox. Now, we'll first take a look at Beanbox. Beanbox was started by a couple of Seattle-based software engineers who combined their knowledge of coffee and their technical know-how to create a unique coffee recommendation platform, providing coffee drinkers everywhere with a bag of beans matching their taste. These bags of beans get shipped right to your front door. They work alongside local small batch roasters in and around Seattle to produce high quality coffee. When it comes to coffee variety, Beanbox Coffee works with tons of the best roasters throughout the Pacific Northwest and many on an exclusive basis. Although this selection isn't quite as big as some of the other coffee subscription services, for example Mistobox, however, the options are unique. Coffee quality. Now, we found all of their coffees to be excellent, both great tasting and fresh. East Timor by Cafe Vita was the standout for us. The flavor was earthy, bold, with cocoa and caramel notes being very pronounced. Overall, the sample box we received was really an excellent set of coffees that would be easy to recommend. Now, when it comes to the website, we found it to be very user-friendly and easy to use. You can pick from 8 different roast options, and their sampler contains 6 different options. Their featured coffee section on their website lists extra information about varietals, regions, and roasts. Their interface is slightly less slick looking than Mistobox, but the substance is much the same. After you receive your coffees, Beanbox keeps track of the ones you've had before in a dashboard and allows you to rate or leave notes on them. The feature that really sets Beanbox apart from other coffee subscription services is that you're able to order smaller sampler bags as part of a subscription. This allows you to try a variety of coffees in a shipment versus being stuck with the same bag. Now, when it comes to price, at the time of recording, Beanbox costs around $24 a month for either the collection of 4 sampler bags or 1 normal 12-ounce bag. This is relatively expensive for coffee, but it is great quality coffee curated from smaller roasters. So you are paying a premium for curation, but it isn't a huge one. Also, it's hard to put a price on their collection of sampler bags as it's a relatively unique offering in the coffee subscription space. So Beanbox are great at finding peak flavor coffee from some of the finest roasters and making the buying experience seamless. The service is definitely more expensive than buying coffee directly, but few services offer the convenience of monthly delivery of small bags of coffee. It is this convenience that adds up to making Beanbox easy to recommend for anyone still in the process of trying coffees out and deciding what they like. Next, we took a look at Mistobox. Now, Mistobox offers a coffee subscription service that is quite similar to that of Beanbox, but with a few key differences. Firstly, Mistobox has a range of 614 different coffees from around the world, so a much larger set than offered by Beanbox. Like Beanbox though, their subscription service operates with a curation engine that figures out good coffees for you to try based on your answers to a quiz. This interface is noticeably slicker than Beanbox's, but the gist of it is basically the same. One advantage of Mistobox's quiz is the ability to select a preference for blends or single origins, and this does help narrow your search down a little bit further. Mistobox features more than 600 different coffees, many of which are from popular roasters including Onyx, Verve, and Intelligentsia. You probably aren't going to run out of new coffees to try with Mistobox. However, their premium coffee options are limited. You can't get a Kona, a Red Mocha Haraz, or a Jamaica Blue from Mistobox. Now, in our review, we tried 2 dark blends. The first was Populous Coffee's Dark Blend, which was a bold coffee with notes of cocoa, But the more interesting one was Parisi Artisan Coffee's Italian blend, which was more akin to a Sumatra. Now, we preferred the coffees we got from Beanbox a bit more, but this is really going to depend on the particular coffees you receive. When it comes to unique features, Mistobox offers a super slick interface, making it quite fun to use and explore. Mistobox also keeps track of what you've already received and allows you to like and rate so that they can better recommend future coffees. One downside to Mistobox, however, is that they don't offer sampler boxes. This makes it tough to try a number of coffees, as you'll need to go through 12-ounce bags at a time, which is a bit inconvenient if you end up with one you don't like. Now, price-wise, at first, Mistobox coffees look a bit cheaper than those offered by Beanbox. However, Mistobox charges a $5 shipping fee for each order. So just remember that when looking at prices on the site. All in all, Mistobox ends up fairly similarly priced to Beanbox, and for both services, you are paying a premium for curation and convenience. So which did we prefer? Well, Beanbox slightly edges out Mistobox in our ratings, mostly because you can get a set of sampler bags that allow you to try a bunch of coffees at once. Beanbox is the best option for trying a bunch of coffees out, but Mistobox might be good for a longer term subscription given the large number of coffees available. That wraps up today's video, guys. We hope this review has helped you in choosing your coffee subscription service. Until next time, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.